There was one moment in the Scorpion's Tale that I absolutely loved. It's a spoiler, so I'll save that for a moment. But the rest of the episode, it was okay. This is the 15th episode of the 22nd season of The Simpsons, directed by Matthew Schofield and Mike B. Anderson. And while Lisa's on a school trip, she discovers that this plant has the ability to subdue these scorpions. And she takes this home, and Homer finds out about it and puts the essence of this plant into Grandpa's tea, I believe it was, and he becomes happy. And it turns out that this plant can, as I believe one of the characters put it, make elderly people tolerable. And there are a lot of experiments. And we have this German scientist who's leading all of these experiments, Walter Hotenhoffer, played by Werner Herzog. And I have to say, I really liked the character. I thought he was a really fun character. And most importantly, I was really pleased to see that he was voiced by an actual German actor, which sounds like an obvious thing, but when it comes to The Simpsons, it wouldn't have surprised me if one of the regular voice actors had done that. It was also really interesting to see this side of Grandpa, because Grandpa was happy, he was loving life, he was really positive. I think he referred to Santa's little helper as his friend at one point. So it was definitely nice to see what could have been if they decided to go with a different direction for the character. I think the personality we get for Grandpa is pretty perfect, but it was nice to see just something a little bit different. An enjoyable episode, but not one that's ever going to be a personal favourite. As I said, I think it was an okay watch. Nothing about it didn't work. There's nothing that I think should have or could have been done differently. And as I said, there was one moment that I adored. So I guess with a spoiler warning, I'll explain this one moment, but I won't mention anything that happens after this. I think this took place around the halfway mark. So a spoiler from now, the bit that I loved, absolutely adored, because it took me by surprise, and I really wanted to use it for the thumbnail of this video, but I won't, because I really don't want to spoil it, although I will now. It's the moment where Grandpa's talking and his eyes just ping out of his head, and it was just fabulous. It was creepy and disgusting and horrific, and I loved it. And putting his eyes in goggles, it was brilliant. Really thoroughly enjoyed that. So I would happily watch this episode again. It's never going to be an all-time favourite, but that being said, I'd say it's still pretty decent.